Hello, everybody, and welcome to season 2 of the Inspo Pod. Such an exciting time. And welcome, Charlotte, back
Hi.
again. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are officially my first guest
Wow.
on season 2.
How exciting. Congratulations on season one.
Oh,
Glad to be
thank
back for
you.
season two.
Thank you so, so much. It's been an absolute whirlwind, but I think your episode was particularly inspirational, especially with business and things like that. Very, very insightful. And I just wanted to get you back again.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to being back.
Yay! Amazing, amazing. So I'm guessing a lot has changed since the last time. Um, so yeah,
Yes.
we will get into that. Um, so yeah, just to give a bit of a roundup as well. So you were on the first time we talked all things business. You were in a job at the time, and that's kind of changed a bit, quite a
Yeah.
bit. Um, you were one of my earliest guests. Since then, I've done a whole 10 episodes, which is fantastic, amazing. Hate bigging myself up, but it's good.
No, it is fantastic. It is amazing. 10 episodes as well is incredible.
Oh, thank you, thank
What
you.
an amazing group of people as well. I've listened not to every one of them, but to definitely to a few, and everyone seems really lovely and very inspirational and clearly
Oh,
working very hard in their different kind of like fields and industries. And it's really interesting to know different perspectives as well.
yeah, definitely. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. I'm sure they'll be over the moon as well. But yeah, it's nice to hear from different people, different walks of life, and different bits of inspiration from different backgrounds and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been good. It's been good. And let's get on to you then. So tell me what has changed in your
Okay.
career?
In my career,
Big
um,
question.
well, I quit my job. Um,
Amazing.
I am officially freelance. So I think the last time we spoke, I was kind of doing a little bit of freelance work. And then it's kind of very fortunately blossomed into a little bit more than maybe that I was expecting. I've been wanting to go freelance for a long, long time, and I don't know, it just felt like the right time. The project I was working on, I was introduced to like another agency, and that blossomed into a great project and a great relationship. So yeah,
Great.
I'm fully freelance as a producer now.
Oh, amazing producer. What a great title. That's so good. And I love how the minute you said I quit my job, my response was, oh, amazing. And usually people will say, what? Like you've
Yeah,
quit your job. That's not good. But actually, I think when you're someone who's got that desire to be freelance, which is also something I possess as well, it really is an amazing thing. And it's an amazing feeling to kind of take that power and step
definitely.
step into like kind of being your own boss in a sense, you know?
Yeah,
And you get to kind of pick and choose. And like you say, what you're working on now is amazing. And I know you can't say too much about it. Um, but yeah, you're working on a big project.
yeah. Working on going out to LA in January, and then I've worked on some really cool kind of projects as well. But I mean, going back to what you said about quitting your job and just going for it, I'm definitely a serial quitter of like, quit your job, just quit your job.
Yeah,
And I always get told off by like my friends and family, like, no, like you can't quit your job. Who says you can't quit your job? Like, just quit your
exactly.
job. What I like,
Exactly.
what's the drama? Like, you've just got to do it sometimes. And I understand there's lots of different kind of like circumstances. I'm not just saying for everyone to quit their job. But it's definitely a jump and a leap. And I think you've just got to go for it sometimes. And if you know that you want to do freelance, or you're just not happy in your role or your job, or even if you're really happy and just know that you want to kind of keep progressing, which is kind of very similar to what I wanted, just quit your job.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think as well, times have definitely changed.
Mm,
I think in sort of our parents, grandparents era, you didn't quit your job and it wasn't possible. So I guess we're really lucky that we kind of live in a time where, you know, there's more opportunity, there's more options.
yeah,
And I'm very much on the same page as you. I am a job quitter. I love it.
We don't help each other. Don't come to us for advice for anything because we'll be like, yeah, just quit your job.
I'm
I
such a
think as
good
well,
listener.
especially after COVID, even then, like before, people expected you to be in companies for like 3 to 7 years, and that was really normal. After
Yeah,
COVID, it was bad that your CV might have like you were only here for a year, you were only here for a year and a half, like the turnaround looked bad. But I feel like after COVID, it's quite normal to jump around, to be able to find the right company, and the more roles there are, and so far I think we're quite lucky that there are quite a lot of roles out there,
yeah,
but more companies are also out there that might not be the best fit for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad, it just means that they might not be what you want at the time. So I feel like that
yeah.
kind of process of finding the right job, staying for a year, finding another one, okay, not too keen on this one, and jumping, has become a lot more normal since the pandemic.
No, I definitely agree. And I think, like you said, it's not always a you thing. Like it used to be, you'd look at someone's CV and, oh, they've only been there that long. That means that they're a bad candidate, they're a bad worker. It can just be, as you say, that that workplace doesn't fit you.
Yeah,
And, you know, you can't really judge what's happened in someone's previous workplace. So I think people are just a lot less judgy in general now, which is really, really good.
yeah,
Um, and I know there's a lot of people out there that do stick in jobs long term. Anyone that's listening that does that, amazing. Like I honestly think that's incredible and
really.
great. But also on the flip side, I think there's a lot of people out there that maybe a little bit like myself, and like you, who maybe have kind of flitted about a bit, haven't really found what they're doing. And I think my advice for that would be think about whether you want to be self-employed and be your own boss, because that might be why you're not sticking somewhere. Definitely for me, I was like, why does nothing sticking? Like, why does nothing stick? I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being on the 9 to 5.
Yeah,
And then it's taken me till God the ripe age of 34 to realize maybe I should be my own boss.
yeah,
Um, and I think there's a lot less stigma around that now as well. I think there's been a time where it's like, oh, you just want to be lazy. You don't want to have to be told when to go in. And it's not that. I think self-employed people, if anything, work a lot harder, um,
yeah.
time
There is something
wise.
with that, like change, especially like work from home days. I used to love work from home days, truly not because I wanted to just sit on the sofa all day. I just want to
Yeah,
be in my own headspace and I want to get my own work done. When you're in the office, there's so much expectation of like having a chat. You've got to do this. Like I very much was
yeah,
a chatter in the office, but you feel like you have to connect with your colleagues. Otherwise, what are you in there for? Whereas it
yeah,
completely switches it on its head when you're self-employed and you're the only one to like bring in the money. You're
yeah,
working so much harder because there is so much more at stake.
yeah.
You
Because it needs to work.
yeah,
It needs to
you don't
work.
have
So you
a
have
choice.
to.
Yeah,
Exactly. And I think as well, people are now learning like not everybody works best between the hours of 9 to 5.
oh
It's
my
not,
god,
you can't put everyone in that same box. And especially for me, as we're in the depths of winter, recording this, I struggle with, I want to get up earlier when the sun's up and do everything
a
before.
1000%. Yeah,
Yeah. And I also want to be able to take a longer lunch break and enjoy that daylight
yeah,
and then come back. Like for me, the ideal is start at 8, have a 2, 3 hour lunch break, and then finish later and break my day up like that. So when I'm working from home, I tend to do that. And, you know, it just it just makes things a lot easier for me because my headspace is better.
yeah,
So
absolutely. I'm such a night owl. Like
are
I will
you?
have no motivation in the morning. I'd love to go out for a walk, grab a coffee, like socialize, but as soon as it comes to like actually working, I'm so much more productive in the evenings. Like I just love sitting on
We
my
are the
laptop.
opposite.
I know. It's so much better. I can reply to emails a bit with like more clarity. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's so much easier working, and even meetings later at night if I'm working with like clients in the US. I love it because I'm so much more turned on and like motivated in the evening. There's something
Yeah.
also quite exciting about like a call at 9 o'clock at night because everyone else is like just starting their day, whereas you've like lived your whole day and you're like, yeah, that's no problem. Like, let's go for it.
Oh my God, I love that. See, we're the complete opposite. So I always find it interesting speaking to people that whose brains like work the opposite way to mine. Because I'm like 6 a.m., give me a meeting. But once it gets to 6 p.m., don't talk to me.
Oh my God, we are the total opposite.
Oh, I
There,
love
I
it.
wouldn't answer the phone to anyone beyond 10 o'clock.
But it's so funny, like we're all human and we're all different, right? And that's what makes it interesting. How do you find working with people in the US then? Is that something you really enjoy? Because I know you're doing that quite a lot more now in your sort of
Yeah,
freelance work.
it's so strange. It's kind of become like a little niche that's been very helpful. I love working late at night. I love kind of the different projects and the different style of characters that you might come across, like from the US. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. They have so many different ways of like working. They have the best sayings ever. Like, like the lingo of like being in like the office or in work. They'll say things like, "Oh, let's double click on that." Like like you're opening a folder, like
Oh,
to expand. Just like saying like
okay.
that, I'm obsessed with. But yeah, it's
Interesting.
a different way of working, and especially kind of coming from like events and in an agency. But they're all so fantastic. Like I've genuinely not worked with an agency that's not been like the highest standard possible. So yeah,
Well,
very
that's
good.
good. Oh, amazing. Brilliant. And
I love
then,
being that the little British girl that's like, "Hi
yeah,
everyone." And
because
they're like, "My God, she's British." I'm like, "Hiya."
Americans love the Brits.
Oh yeah.
They really
Oh
do. They
yeah.
really do. Um, and do you know what? I love their accents as well. In the US, their accents I'm obsessed with. So I could happily sit on a call and just listen to them talk business.
Oh, it's brilliant. It takes a while to like tune into their lingo and like how they're talking
Yeah.
about things, but once you are, so I was doing a project where like sweaters and jumpers, like they say sweaters, I say jumpers, but now I just say sweaters because you're just so into that like process of talking about it. I'm like, oh, just need to get a sweater on, and Will's like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, it's a jumper for you. It's a jumper.
That's so funny. You're picking up the lingo. I love it. I'm glad you're enjoying that side of things. And how have you found the last sort of few months then of kind of the transition between what you were doing previously when we last spoke and kind of what you're doing now? Have you found it like a difficult transition, or have you found that you're just really free now? Like what's the like thoughts and feelings that have come up for you?
I Good question. I think when I was kind of working my notice period and kind of going into the project, when I
Yep.
was officially freelance, it was when it was like live. So the Barbie project is the one I'm talking about, the one that you came to. So that
It
was
was
like
so good.
that was like my first official project as a freelancer, and it was like almost immediately on site and feeling really busy. And
Yeah.
then fortunately I went kind of straight into another project as well. So I feel like I didn't have much time to process what was happening and the decision that I'd made. Obviously, it was a very well thought through process and there was
Yeah.
lots of discussions, but I think as soon as I made that change, it just felt so natural. I think because I've been thinking about it
Yeah.
for a long time and it's something I've really wanted to do. Being able to just do it, you've probably thought about it and lived this like little dream for so long, you don't even
Yeah.
question kind of going into it. The thing that I felt that was quite challenging was like learning a lot about like your taxes and your finances and things like that.
Yes.
Of
Yeah.
course, I was freelance before in theatre, but like you're not dealing with the kind of funds that you're potentially dealing with now. This was like, I don't know how long ago, 5 years ago, and I was like barely making rent in theatre. And now I'm very fortunate to be kind of like earning a little bit more, learning about the different taxes and how you need to track them and do your finances. I literally spoke to two accountants as like interviews of like, you need to just help me and tell me what I need to know about being self-employed. Like, how does the tax work when you go over a certain amount? What happens if you don't? A business account, things like that that I've just never dealt with before. It was
Yeah.
definitely a huge learning to try and kind of figure it out and make sure that I'm doing everything right and like tracking things and doing myself a favor. So when it becomes like April and I need to start submitting things, I'm not just like lost in a sea of receipts kind of thing.
Yeah, so that was the biggest challenge, I guess, for you then. And
Yeah.
I feel that like the whole finance side of things is so
Ah.
confusing.
I can't
Um,
believe they just let you just do it.
I
Like
know.
Don't let me do it. That doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem the right decision.
It's
Um,
crazy. It's
yeah,
crazy. But I feel like sometimes though, when you're kind of thrown in the deep end and you have to do it, it's the best way to learn, even though it's
yeah.
difficult. It's kind of, I feel like for me, especially if I wait to do something and there's no urgency, I will maybe put it off a little bit and then I won't throw myself into it as much as I need to. Whereas if you're kind of thrown into the deep end and everything's moving fast and you need to do it, you just
Oh,
do it and then you've
1000%.
learned.
Yeah. I love that sense of urgency. I think that's why we love our line of work so much, is that things
Yep.
have to happen immediately. Like projects come in quick, clients come in quick, they need an answer. That is so motivating for us. Whereas if it's like,
Yes.
oh, yeah, like in 3 months' time, you're going to need to do this. I'm like, cool, I'll do it in 3 months' time. Like, I'm not going to start now. And
Yeah.
having that pressure of there's no one else that's ever going to do this apart from you, it really does make you work for it, and you have to understand, otherwise there's no one else there for you, kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I always tell myself this is how I feel good about my life. I
Yeah,
think we're like diamonds. Diamonds are made under pressure, and I work best under pressure. It's
yeah,
just the way I am. So we're diamonds.
yeah. They say
We
like
are.
a diamond's under pressure, but like what is it, like a potato softens in boy, I've completely butchered this saying, but it's like different people work under different scenarios. So like
Yeah.
something could an egg hardens in boiling water, whereas a potato softens and all of that. Oh, I
Yeah.
need I need the boiling, scalding hot water. Like I'm not gonna soften, I'm gonna
So
harden when it's
wait.
deep,
So yeah,
deep.
what are we? Are we potato or egg?
I think we're eggs because we're gonna harden unless we need to
Okay.
be soft. Hmm.
No, so we get tougher
We get
when the
tougher,
pressure's on.
yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah. I don't know. I think the saying is like you can put two things in a pressured environment.
Yeah,
One
and
is
they're going to react
the,
differently.
yeah. So however we react, we can be
Got
the egg
it.
scenario.
Okay, now I don't know if I'm a diamond, a potato,
No,
or an
I
egg,
don't know.
but
I don't think that's the right thing. It
no, I
just
know it does make sense. It makes sense. But I think that goes back to what we're saying about like humans are all different and you know, we're by no means saying someone that loves to have a nice, easy 9 to 5 job and stay in it, there's anything wrong with that. It's kind of those people that are a bit like us, don't feel bad either. Take the plunge. If you're someone that works like this, like we do, go for it.
yeah.
Just give it a go because we're all different.
Okay.
So,
Again.
okay. Give me your 2024 in a nutshell. Thoughts, feelings, summary.
Okay. I would say the last 6 months have been completely unpredictable. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
think at the start of this year this was like the direction that my life was going to go. But
Yeah.
also, like looking back and reflecting, I feel like the last 6 years, like since graduating and like actually getting like actual experience, now I'm able to start putting that into practice. Like I've been learning so much, I've been growing so much. Now in the roles that I've been put in, I feel like, oh God, I can actually do this. Like I know my stuff when I'm talking to
Yeah.
agencies or different suppliers. I know what to do when negotiating or adding into a budget. Whereas I was only learning that before.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm 100% still learning. There are things that I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean? How on earth do you do this? Or what does this stand for? But I feel like now is like the year that I can actually put what I've learned into practice and almost become a valuable asset in myself rather than just as
Yeah.
someone who's like learning on a job. I'm now at a level where I can actually like, I don't know, just do the job, I guess. And maybe that's because I've
So
never felt
good.
like that before, or I've never worked with agencies who kind of really empower you to think like that. But
Yeah.
I guess that's like the summary, and kind of going forward into 2025. That's like the goal that I'd like to do, is just keep learning, but also know that I've got the experience now, like trust in my abilities as well.
That's amazing. Well done. You're smashing it. I love it. I feel like we're in a very similar kind of year actually, where it feels like you're pushing through life, you're kind of doing this and that and kind of moving about. and you know you want to get somewhere, and then it's like both of us respectively have like kind of landed where we're it
Yeah.
feels like you're where you're meant to be. Like you're
Yeah.
like, okay, now it all makes sense. I've kind of done the journey, like I've done all these different things, and now I'm kind of in the place I kind of was hoping I'd be in, which is
It,
really nice.
yeah. It's a
Really
weird
nice.
place to be because you don't want to like be like, okay, that's it, that's the end. And I don't think either of us are ever going to be like that because I just don't think it's
No.
in our bones. It's a blessing and a curse because I'd love to just be like, cool, I'm
Yeah.
happy. But I'm always going to want more or want to kind of switch
Yeah.
up and different things. But I think a goal for both of us next year, I think we both need to like keep reflecting and seeing how far we've
Yeah.
come and seeing how well we're actually doing rather than keep thinking, okay, what next? What next? Well, actually, hang on, like
Yeah.
you've just finished a whole season of a podcast. That's incredible. Like have the time to celebrate those successes before you forget about them because you're moved on to the next thing.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like reflection is so important, and I'm trying my best to journal, failing. But it really, really helps you kind of look back. Because I
Okay.
think, like for me, a year ago, I was signed off work with depression. And at this time last year, I was literally walking about the streets, depressed, not having work, not really knowing what I wanted to do, not really knowing where to go next or where this year was going to take me. And it's just, yeah,
And that's
it's weird.
last year. That's crazy, right?
It's mental. It's mental. And it's nice as well to kind of have, because obviously we are friends outside of this podcast, and it's nice to have those friendships where you're kind of on a similar journey and you can kind of just say to each other, here's a marg. Cheers. We're doing
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah, definitely. I
So,
feel like it's
yeah.
important to have those like little check-ins and also surrounding yourself with friends who do celebrate you. I think especially
Yeah.
maybe moving into positions where I am getting really cool jobs and very exciting things and being able to have friends that you can be like, "Oh my God, like this is so random. Look at what I'm doing now." And then being like, "Oh my God, this is so cool," rather than like
Yeah.
really like just it really does divides the people.
Yeah, it does. No one likes a hater. That's all I'm going to say.
Come
No
on.
one likes a hater. And like we all go through ups and downs. So I think if anyone hates on you when you're in your up,
Yeah.
like that a friend shouldn't just be there for you when you're in your down. They should be there through the both because you're gonna have
Yeah.
both. Do you know what I mean?
Oh,
Um,
always. Yeah.
yeah. I don't even know what I just said or if that made sense. But
And nothing
anyway,
nothing can be worse than the egg and potato conversation, so don't worry. We've set the bar down.
at least we're entertaining, even if I don't know if we're
Yeah.
inspirational, but at least we're entertaining. Um, so would you say your advice then, since the last time we spoke, has changed in any way? Or is there any extra advice that you would give to people? Maybe I don't know, they're stuck in a 9 to 5 they don't want to be in, or maybe they're already kind of freelance, self-employed, or maybe they just don't know what they want to do. Like what would you kind of, is there anything you'd add from last time?
I I would definitely continue with my golden triangle theory.
Yes. Please
Like
explain this to me again because I tried
I
to re-explain it in another episode and I think I got it completely wrong.
um okay, so I mean, forever golden triangle. So it's a three different sides. And when you're making like any decision in your life, or I use it quite a lot in my job, especially now I've got loads of different projects, you have to kind of think and what you're taking. So it's personal. So like, is it something that personally interests you? Does it like lean into your values? Experience, is it something that's gonna like is it a step up, like is it going to get you something, even if it's not, are you learning a new skill that you could really do with, like if you hate budgets and this is like a really budget heavy project and you want to learn that, great, like that's brilliant
Yeah.
experience. And then the last one's financial, so is it actually something that's really good financially, is it going to kind of help you to save up for something, things like that. So the
Yeah.
ideal project is something that's all three. So like, is it something that you absolutely love doing, you're also getting a really good role and it's good financially, but
Yeah.
you know, when are you ever going to get all three? So you have to kind of figure out, you know, the two sides of the triangle you should always aim for, ideally not
Yeah.
just one, because you're not making a shape, you're just a line. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
It's
guess.
kind of, I find it really helpful if I'm kind of unhappy in something as well, because say if I'm doing something I'm not particularly happy in,
Yeah,
I I find that quite useful to look and say, okay, well, it's a learning curve for this. I'm using it for this knowledge and I'm
yeah,
also getting paid well. So
exactly.
as long as I can see the end goal and I don't get complacent, then, there's a reason I'm here kind of thing. So that is really helpful actually.
Exactly. That's like that's your financial and that's your like experience. And
Yeah.
then often, and I think I've definitely been in jobs that have been all of a mixture of the different ones. But if, for example, it's financially like it's giving you stability, even if it's not like a finance that you would see money, if it's giving you stability in something else, that can still be it. And
Yeah.
experience, why can't you fulfill your personal needs to make your golden triangle kind of thing? Like it doesn't have to
Yeah.
be reliant on just one project or one job to give you all
Yeah.
three, but you need to make sure that
Yeah.
either way, like oh, for example, if you're doing like personal and experience and it's like the best thing ever, find another way to make it financially viable, like make it work in
Yeah.
another way. But golden triangle is always my
Love
like
that.
go to of okay, what do I need? How can I get something out of
Yeah.
this? Is this going to be good for my personal growth and things like that?
No, I love that. I love that. And I don't mind saying on here as well that I kind of, I'm glad you've just said you can kind of get it from multiple things, because I kind of have two of their sides from my job
Yeah.
at the moment. And then I'm getting my, my passion and that kind of real sense of happiness and purpose. Not that I'm not happy in my job, just to say,
No, I know.
but that real deep sense of like purpose from this.
Yeah.
So kind of mixing it up, and yeah, I
Yeah.
love that. So that one's
And
still
even if you
prevalent.
like flip it around, this like your podcast is the most incredible thing for your personal and for your experience. Maybe you're lacking that underneath of the financial, but you're getting that from
I'm
a job.
working on it, don't you worry.
But like you're still making your triangle from a different perspective as well. Like your podcast doesn't need to be secondary, it's primary, and your job is like this. Like you're still making
Yeah,
that kind of golden
love it.
triangle. Flip that perspective, Beth. Flip
Oh,
it.
love it. Love it. And I also I've got plans in progress, guys, to make this my main thing. So you all need to like and subscribe
Yeah.
and share and download and but there's a
Get those
plan. There is a plan.
downloads in.
Um okay, so I really love that bit of advice, which is why I wanted you to kind of repeat it to me, because I think it's really, really good. But what would you kind of, is there anything that you would add, or are you kind of just, do you kind of stick with the same
The only
inspo?
other thing I can think of is throughout, I never knew what I wanted to do. I feel like I'm in a good place, but I still never really know exactly what I want to do. But I've always done it from like taking my GCSEs and going into like a college is like just do what you love and then the rest will fall into place. Like I've
Yeah.
always kept picking the paths or the courses that I've really just enjoyed and loved. Like I did a drama degree.
Yeah.
I don't think I do much that's involved in drama right now, but I've always kind of picked the
Follow your
path
heart.
genuinely just bring you a lot of joy, because why would you waste your time on something that you don't enjoy? Just like I wanted to get a degree, so I just got a degree in drama because I thought that'd be fun.
Love
And
it.
it was fun, and I'm still in a place where
No
I'm
regrets.
genuinely really enjoying it. So yeah,
Yeah.
do what you love, the rest will fall into place.
I love that. I love that. I'm very much of the same opinion, like follow your heart. And similarly, you mentioned earlier, like kind of family or outside influences saying, stick in a job, do this, do that. I've always been that person. It's like, I don't enjoy it. I don't want to.
Yeah,
And my
and
family are
don't
like,
come to me if you want to
doesn't
quit your
matter.
job because I
Yeah.
will say quit your job.
My family are like, well, you're not meant to enjoy work. It's work. And I'm like,
I know,
I'm
no,
gonna, I'm just gonna leave.
yeah.
Bye.
You
No,
are
so
meant to enjoy your job. Like
yeah.
you are. That's like a
Yeah.
if you're not
We're
enjoying your job.
so
Mm,
fortunate we live in this world where we can do things that we want to do. So why not? You know?
yeah,
It's not
definitely.
every day is going to be amazing. You're not just going to be like, it's not going to be clouds and rainbows and you're like skipping around, but you should have like a core enjoyment for what you're doing,
Yeah,
which pushes you through those more difficult days. So I
100%.
am fully on board with that. Okay, we've actually only got 4 minutes left. So,
Hmm.
oh, I feel like this has gone way too fast.
You're doing well though.
Um,
This is good.
so to wrap up then, so we've kind of gone through sort of advice. I was going to ask you if you've got any advice for 2025. I guess we've kind of done that, but if you have got any sort of tips and tricks for, new year, or if you want to share like what your 2025 is going to look like, um, that would be great.
Well, hobbies. I'm gonna
Okay.
Here's what I'm going to do in 2025. I'm going to tell
Oh,
you
tell
I have
us.
to do it. I'm going to learn to drive. I I
You
can
heard it
drive.
here first.
I have a license, but I should not be allowed on that road. So I'm gonna like relearn to drive. And I'm
Okay.
also taking up some pottery classes in November.
Love, love.
So they're like my goals as well, just to like make sure that I've carved out some time for myself.
Yeah.
I just need to learn to drive, basically.
Okay. That's amazing. I'm so impressed. In London as well, though, that it's hard, but
I know.
amazing.
I just feel like my two cousins are having babies and I'm so excited and I just want to
Oh,
be able to like
congrats.
drive over to them and like help them out
Yeah.
or just like clean their houses for them or something. So I want to be able
Ah,
to like get in the car and just not think about it and drive, which is so funny because I feel like I've just done such scary things, but driving is so scary. Like I it's fully out of my comfort zone. So it's a good next challenge, I
yeah.
think.
Yeah. That's amazing. And if you don't mind, I would love to kind of sum up what I would take from that as your advice being, which is you kind of feel like you're in a good place with work and things like that. So it's like when you get to that place where you're kind of happy, don't then stop learning, don't stop doing other things because, just because you've made it into one area of your life, you still need to be learning and kind of having challenges, I think, to grow and also to be happy. It's kind of proven. There was some study done years ago, I can't remember what it was, but like to have true happiness, you need to always be like striving for something and learning and kind of growing. So, yeah, that's what I would take from that is, you know, you're smashing it with work. So for 2025, you're like, right, okay, well, outside of work, what can I do that's going to now challenge me and,
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
help me grow something I can focus on? I think that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
So good
I feel
luck.
so yeah, good luck to everyone driving. I feel so grateful for my job and where I've kind of come, and especially over the last 6 months. And I never want to take it for granted of like the experiences and the opportunities that I'm having. Like I have
Yeah,
worked very hard, but it has been a case of like a little bit of snowball and some luck thrown in there as well. So I want to make
yeah,
sure that I'm not just like stopping there and thinking, yeah, great, I've done this. Like I want to kind of keep proving to myself and like my friends
yeah.
and my family that, you know, work's
Keep
going
growing.
fantastic, but let me challenge myself in other ways and yeah,
I
keep
love
riding
it.
that wave. Okay, and what about you? What are your like goals for 2025?
So, my goals are probably, as you can well imagine, to continue this lovely podcast, keep progressing with it, complete a season 2, potentially work on a season 3. I'd love to work on getting a co-host as well. Applications open if you want to apply. Um, because I just think life's more fun with two people, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, But I think for me personally, my 2025, I think without kind of sounding in any way kind of big-headed or anything like that, 2024 has been such a good year. And I'm really proud of myself in sort of the progress that's been made. So I think for 2025, I want to just continue on that kind of trajectory and kind of keep going and just not put too much pressure on. There's no definite plan. It's just keep going as you are, keep working towards your goals and towards, financial freedom and, you know, being a podcast host. And that's it really. I don't really have any specific goals. It's just that. It's just keep going, keep pushing forward, keep being positive, keep going to therapy, keep trying to be a better person, um, if I can, because I've got
And
issues.
at least you know a balance. Um,
Yeah.
and what would be your like advice then? This is like season 2, episode 1, what is like your advice to yourself that you could have given season 1 you?
Okay. I would probably say just have confidence in yourself and just do things. And that hasn't really changed. I had that kind of advice to myself and to others from the beginning, but I think now that I can look back and see what I've done, I realize things are never that hard and just do them, which is what I did. But I think I was a lot more hesitant and it took me longer than it maybe could have done if I'd have had that little bit more kind of get up and go.
Yeah.
And since starting season 1, I've been listening to a lot of other podcasts, one of which is Mel Robbins, who I love, and taking on board a lot of advice that she's given. And one of her bits of advice was the 5 4 3 2 1 kind of method, where it's like, if you don't want to get up in the morning, just count down from 5 and just do it. Like, you don't want to, you're about to do a podcast episode and you're really nervous, just 5 4 3 2 1, do it. Like, just do it. And I think
Okay. I love
that's the
that.
biggest thing I've learned. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I'm gonna take that through as well. 5 4 3 2 1.
Yeah.
Done.
Just 5 second rule, just do it. Because I am definitely, when it comes to lying in bed in the morning, I snooze, 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 snooze.
Yeah.
But, and I used to be the same with this. I used to be, oh, I can't do the podcast yet because I don't have a good backdrop. I don't have a good microphone. I don't have this. I don't have that. Just do it. Just buy what you need, get the equipment, record an episode without the equipment. Then the next one it can be improved. Like,
Yeah.
just do it. Just go, go, go. The quicker you do, the quicker it becomes comfortable, the quicker you move forward, the quicker you progress. Just do. That's it.
Love it. Perfect.
That's it. I want Nike to sponsor me in 2025. Just do it. That's my tagline. Come on,
There
Nike.
you go. You're doing them favors. Great.
But yeah, that's it. I guess. Have you got anything else you want to finish on, or all good?
I'm all good. I feel like
You're
I've
ready.
yapped away.
You're ready. You're ready for 2025. I can
I'm
feel
ready.
it.
Yeah. This
It's
has
gonna
been
be a great
lovely
year.
to like sum up the year, going straight into
Yeah.
2025. Let's go
Yeah.
for it.
No, I love it. I think it's been a great year for both of us. I hope it's been a great year for all my listeners as well. And if it hasn't, 2025, you got this. You can do it. Just keep believing, keep pushing,
Let's do it.
keep listening to us. And yeah, that's it really. I love it. I feel very positive. It's been a
Yeah.
great chat.
Yeah. Lovely chatting to you as always. And thanks for having me back.
Of course. If there's ever a season 3, we might have you back again,
Oh,
You can just be this regular guest, because you
love
are
it.
super inspirational. So thank you for coming on. Thank you for, as always, sharing your wisdom, and you're such a business boss bitch. Love it. I hate that boss bitch is bitch. Can we make it boss Barbie? I don't know. What, that was shit as well.
That helps.
What can we what phrase can we, what are you? You're a
I'm a
boss. Just a boss. You're just a
yeah,
boss. You're just
boss.
a bit, you're literally just a boss. I love it. That's what
Literally
I'm
just
gonna call you from now. No, I love it. So I'm so appreciative of you coming on and sharing all of your your wisdom and your business knowledge, and just sharing where you are in life, because it is inspirational and we can all be a boss.
it's really not got a ring to it. Yeah.
Anyway,
Well,
guys, thanks for listening.
okay.
But no, we will have you back again soon and we'll go for Margs.
Lovely.
Love
Fantastic.
it. Thank you so much, my love, and we'll speak soon.
Bye.
Bye.